Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. Every now and again I like to share a couple of upcycle examples that I've found in my fossicking around. Sometimes we find some great stuff, particularly from the early days from the Depression era, where they basically had to make do and they'd turn something into something that was practical rather than throw it out. These days upcycling is a bit more of a fad, I guess, but it still has merit, and it's great to turn something that is no longer required into something that's useful. Now I've got a couple of vintage ones on the table here. One's 1970s and is a little bit special to me. The other one's probably maybe 1950s or 60s. Let's have a look. Here we go. Now there's three items here obviously, but two of them are the same, or the same type. Who remembers making these, or at least them being a bit of a fad? They're three-dimensional pictures, just from a row of nails and cotton, and they were a bit of a rage in the 70s in Australia. In fact, I think you could even buy books on different designs and patterns. This is a relatively simple one, but it gives a really good effect. Now this one's just with cotton, and this was made in the 70s, and it's been in a shed for a long time, so it's looking a bit dusty and grubby, and the cotton's actually let go in a couple of places. But you can see it's a really cool effect. Now, I guess it would come under the category of art, or decorative art, and in the 70s they hung all sorts of things on the wall, and they had bright orange curtains and all sorts of stuff. Now the other one here is the upcycle version, and I reckon this looks fantastic, and the scrappers amongst you would probably recognise that's copper wire, and it's different coloured. And out of transformers and various coils and things we find in the e-waste, the lacquer on the copper can be different colours, and I've even seen green, and it just looks fantastic there. Now this, again, it's probably looking a little bit dull and faded because it's coated in dust and it's spent a long time in the shed. So that one is upcycling, because that copper wire, the insulated or the lacquered copper wire, came out of transformers. And the reason I know that is that, oh, that one doesn't have my name on it. I made it. Let's get the other one back up here. I made these probably in the mid 70s, maybe 76, 77. There we go. That was teenage me. And I used to muck around with electronics a little bit in the 70s, and I used to pull a lot of stuff apart. And that's probably why, as a scrapper, I still like pulling things apart. And in this case, I salvaged the copper wire, and I made one of these 3D art pieces. And I think this may have even hung in their house at one stage until my parents got sick of it. And it looks like I may have actually tried, or someone has tried one on the back and then pulled all the nails out. But basically it's just a scrap bit of chipboard that would have come out of Dad's shed, a heap of nails at graduated heights, and then you just thread the copper or the cotton or whatever you use, and there's a particular sequence to get this three-dimensional pattern. It looked great on the wall. I think it did attract a bit of dust, and I think spider webs, there we go, cobwebs tended to stick to it. But anyway, a 1970s piece of artwork made by myself, and that's why it's a little special. It's a good memory. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. I might put it in the shop and see if I can sell it. But that's an upcycle project from me in mid 70s. Now this other one, now it's a lamp. Someone's done some nice artwork on it. Why are you saying or asking, is that an upcycle project? Or was it? It is. Let's pull the shade off. And it just has a spring clip over the bulb. Now the lamp base has been hand painted as well, and it started its life off as a pottery bowl. And you can see it's had a break and been glued back, and there's still a chip somewhere. Here around this side it's chipped. And rather than throw the bowl out, I don't know if that's the original colour, it may have been repainted, and clearly the artwork has been done on that side. But rather than throw it out, someone thought it necessary to keep the piece, make something else out of it, and as was done with a lot of things, they've turned it into a lamp. So, it was a broken bowl. Most people would throw it out. Someone's had a bit of time on their hands, they've been a bit creative, and they've made a nice lamp out of it. I would think that's probably 1950s. Just looking at the cord, it is a Bakelite plug. So, and the fittings here are a little bit Art Deco-y, so it's probably 1950s. The bowl, I would think, well, vase maybe it was. I'm not sure if it's a vase or a bowl now. But I would think that would probably date to the 50s. So I'd say it was dropped or damaged or broken pretty early in its life. And someone's made a pretty cool lamp out of it. Now, I'm not going to comment on their artistic merit, but it's the same scene, I guess, on the shades, similar. Yeah, it looks like it's tried to be the same. And I'm not sure how well it looks as a lamp because the shade tends to sit a little bit low. But I have tested it, it works fine. I'm going to put it in the shop. I don't think it's of enormous value, but it is an upcycle project and that's cool in its own right. I think I'll probably put $25 on it. It looks really good actually with the light on because it highlights the painting. Although reflecting on that painting ability, perhaps that's not a good thing to highlight the painting, in which case we can easily solve that. There we go, a nice lamp ready for your painting, although the shade's a little bit creased. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. A couple of upcycling projects. Much better to try and do something with things rather than throw them out. Of course, the copper wire here never would have been thrown out. I was dabbling in scrap metal way back then, and I remember having a little bucket to put all the copper wire in, and I think we used to sell it at one stage, and the dealer would give us a little bit extra to encourage us as kids, and it's probably obviously worked, stayed with me all my life. All right, thanks guys. Just a short video this time. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.